Are you one of those people who's picking Benoit Saint Denis to win at UFC 299 against Dustin Poirier? I think you should reconsider. Here's what I did. I went back and watched all of Benoit Saint Denis' fights, and I believe I've identified a couple of critical weaknesses that he has that he's shown throughout most of his fights, that against someone like Dustin Poirier or most of the people at the top, he's going to get exposed. He's about to get fraud checked. Let's jump into the tape right away, and I'm going to show you these weaknesses. And if you end up enjoying the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content similar to this, and check out my channel for other content I have that you may end up liking. One of the first things I'm about to show you is the amount of openings BSD leaves. This dude, homeboy here, leaves so many openings. There's just no way I can comfortably pick him against Dustin Poirier. Let's just watch this in slow-mo, okay? You see him throwing punches, boom, 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 hands down, not really covering, and then watch Moises. Rolls up, throws the counter, and I don't know if this really landed or missed, but the point is you'll notice right here, complete openings. Imagine someone like Dustin Poirier on the cage like this. BSD's doing his classic pressure style, which he loves to do, loves taking his opponents to the cage. Dustin Poirier rolls and then boom, connects right here because BSD doesn't keep his hands up properly. Don't believe me just yet? Let's watch another clip which happens shortly right after. Look at this. He's in front of him, hands down. Look at this. Moises throws, just grazes him. But you'll notice BSD standing that close, doesn't have his hands up. What do you think is going to happen if someone like Dustin Poirier is within this range like that with his hands down? What do you guys think is going to happen? Still not convinced? Well, let's watch another clip right here, which again happens not too long after. He has him on the cage, throws some punches. You'll notice, look at him, where his hand placement is out. He's out of range there, but no problem. Boom, throws a body shot. Boom, just grazes him again. You're like, oh, look at BSD, great head placement. Well, just keep watching. He comes in again, boom, 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 goes with the body shot. And now look, his hands are down. Moises cocks up, boom, clips him. And you'll see he actually gets wobbly here for a second. If you watch this, he actually gets wobbly and then shoots for the takedown because he got clipped. Just think, what do you guys think is going to happen when he has Dustin Poirier against the cage like that and tries to throw and use his pressure, God of War style, I'm so good. What do you think is going to happen? He's going to get clipped. Let's look at another clip. Look, he's just moving towards Moises, not even hands up. He's literally just in front of him. Look, he just got clipped right there. So let's watch this sequence. And keep in mind, this is very exciting stuff. Don't get me wrong. This is very exciting, but you'll watch. Okay, he throws the body kick. Okay, boom. He gets tagged with a left. His hands are down. You'll see they're to his side. He just misses another shot. Throws the kick. He blocks that. That's great. Benoit throws the kick. And look, his hands are down again. And Moises counters him right there with a right. Boom. Gets clipped again. You saw he threw the kick. Hands down. He gets hit again. Again, he does a lot of his work by doing a lot of pressuring. But when he's going to get people against the cage like that, if he's not going to put his hands up and throws wildly and depends on his savage pressure style to calm his opponents, he's going to get clipped. You get clipped by DP, very, very different than the guy he's been fighting so far. Now, one more thing I want to show you here, and this is something I noticed in a lot of BSD's fights, typically after round one, he noticeably slows down. You'll see his movements and everything, they noticeably slow down. His movements become a lot more labored, a lot more slower, a lot more sloppy. You'll notice that, like you see these shots he's throwing, a lot more slower. Why is this a problem? Not just that you're fighting Dustin Poirier, it's also a 5-round co-main event. I have no evidence that he can fight 5 rounds against people of this quality, let alone people of Dustin Poirier's quality. Some of you might say, well, hey Moose, if it's a 5-round co-main event, he's just going to slow down and take the fight a little bit slower. Well, that's another problem. As much as that might seem like it makes sense, you know why it's a problem? BSD's style relies on heavy pressure, sucking you into a sort of chaotic sort of fight. If he slows down the fight to a 5-round sort of more technical fight, there's no evidence he could beat people at a high level at that point. Now, to get back to his first weakness, because I want to show you that this spans over multiple fights, not just one fight, that Moises fight. You can watch this fight against Miranda. Now, this was some time ago, a little bit earlier into his UFC career, but you can notice that some of the things are still here. Like you notice, boom, boom, he goes for the punches, he tries to punch back. You'll notice, boom, he gets hit again at this range, and he gets rocked. He does these spinning attacks, and you'll notice he stands at close range. His hands sometimes not guarding him, and then he gets tagged pretty consistently. Sorry to tell you this, you get hit by someone like Dustin Poirier, who hits like a truck. Not going to be a good night for you. Another sequence right here. Let's watch this. Okay, he comes into range. He tries to throw like a kick or something like that, but standing at punching range, and then he gets hit. Again, hands down. Standing here, wild brawl, hands down. Now, he drops him here. Again, this type of style that BSD uses in all of his fights it typically works to overwhelm his opponents, and it ends up working. Now against someone like Dustin Poirier, he's going to get cracked hard. Dustin Poirier's not going to go down like some of these other guys, and it's going to end up being a long, bad night for him. I want to circle back to BSD's UFC debut here against Dos Santos. Now, I don't want to put too much stock into this because it was at welterweight. It's his UFC debut. He's improved since then, but I want to point out one other thing, which is kind of a weakness, but we'll see how it goes. But I feel like it's going to happen in the Dustin Poirier fight, where Dos Santos was one of the first fighters who was able to really push him back. And while BSD tried to go, Dos Santos was able to push back hard. And I do feel like BSD has been able to have success against his other opponents so far because he's good and that pressure works really good. But I do feel like when Dustin Poirier is able to push back and doesn't crumble, it's going to end up a little bit like this, where you're going to see BSD on the opposing end of the pressure where he's tired. Now, one other thing I want to point out is his last fight was really impressive against Matt Frevola, and I know this got a lot of people hyped, but one thing I want to point out is, again, BSD's very good, and I think he beat Frevola fair and square, and I think he'd probably beat Frevola again if they fought. But one thing I want to point out is, towards the ending of the fight, Matt Frevola just did a really, really dumb mistake, which I just don't see Dustin Poirier doing, and none of Saint Denis' other opponents did this. Look at the way he just broke off from this. He literally broke off the clinch and then decided to walk sideways with his hands down. Like, look at this. This is just ridiculously stupid. Now, again, BSD was good enough to walk towards him or run towards him and head kick, which only a few fighters can do who are good enough. But this was just a dumb mistake. Look at this. He's literally walking with his hands down. I don't think that Dustin Poirier is going to make a mistake like this. And none of BSD's other opponents really made mistakes like this either. So hit the like button if you end up enjoying. Subscribe for more content similar to this. Like I said, check my channel. There's other stuff that you may end up liking. And until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.